This is Mrs. Vicki Northrup talking to you from my room at Hastings Middle School on a Friday afternoon, so I'm a little tired. I just wanted to touch base with you and let you know about a little bit about the APA struggle that we're having. We expect our professional graduate students to follow the APA guidelines in their work. I understand that transferring that information to Blackboard can be difficult. Blackboard does change a lot of things. There'll be times when you will submit work, and on my side, all I see is a little blue circle that is still trying to submit. You think you've submitted it, but I haven't received it yet. That happens sometimes. And then we also have had some issues with things changing in the transition. One of the things that I do, and the person who I have worked with during my faculty learning community times, has been that we copy and paste the work in Word, put it into the Blackboard box, and then if it reformats, then we have to go up and manually hit the space bar to move over for your indents and to make sure that you have your references. It doesn't have to be centered exactly, but at least that you made the attempt and you didn't leave it left justified. You might have to do that when you do that transfer. I know I have had to do that. I know that other instructors have had to do that. So in the future, you might want to, it takes a little time, but it takes a lot less time than having to attach and email something to me. So if you don't mind doing that, at least it's an attempt at reaching your goal of following the AP rules. Also, when you're writing your papers, your lit reviews, and your final paper that you'll be writing at the end, you need to make sure that you're using a correct running head, and we seem to be having a problem with that in this class. There is an example that I have sent you on that PDF, APA PDF that I sent you. Also, there are some great YouTube videos on how to format your computer so that it defaults to an APA template, and it works pretty slick. There's both a Mac and PC example, and I actually sent examples of both of those the very first week of class. So you could click on those or you can Google them. They're pretty easy to follow in the YouTube videos. I can't think those and some of the spacing issues where there's extra spaces between your paragraphs, that setting can be found in your paragraph setting. So if you go up into your paragraphs, I'm looking here on in my Word document, if you go up into your under format and you hit find paragraph, I'm on a Mac, and you click in that, there's settings where you can click into a box that says no extra spaces between paragraphs, and that's what you need to do because it'll automatically default to an extra space in there. So if you would do that, that would be helpful, and then you wouldn't have that extra space on your papers. I don't expect double spacing in Blackboard. I just want you to use your in-text citations correctly. If you use quotation marks around a quote and all you give me is an author and a year, then I'm going to have to take a point simply because you need to have a page number if you're going to use quotation marks. So you need to make sure and do that as well. Off the top of my head, unless you have everything in the Times New Roman font, unless you don't have everything in the Times New Roman font, we shouldn't have a problem. I've noticed that as well, that some of the font is different and isn't Times New Roman. And all you have to do is highlight the entire piece that you just pasted into your box and then go to the little font window above it, click Times New Roman, and the whole thing will change to the Times New Roman font. So it takes a little time, and you have to do a little bit of that editing in the box, but then you don't have to worry about whether or not you have reached the expectations that we have for you. If you have other questions about this, do not hesitate to call me or text me. I may not get right back to you, but I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. You can also email me. Many of you have been really good about sending me emails, and I appreciate that. You like my autism awareness shirt. I know you're probably wondering why I have a skeleton on the front of my shirt, but it's about daring to be yourself. Today was our Autism Awareness Day at school. So any other questions that you might have, make sure you let me know. But I enjoy all of the reading I've done. Your content is amazing. Lots of good information that we're sharing with each other, and I do appreciate that. Take care of yourselves, and I will try to do a couple more of these videos if I can before your final paper. Have a great weekend. Stay warm if you're somewhere where it's snowing, and if you're not, have a great time. Blessings. Bye-bye.